God tonight. Oh, come on, it's time to worship tonight. Somebody just say, I need fire, 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 fire. I need fire in my mind. I need it in my will.
Anybody need fire? Anybody need fire? What's up? What's up? Come on, come on, come on, come on. If you want some fire, today, I'm going to be on here live this afternoon really quick. Anybody want some fire? Some fire, some fire? Go ahead, put some fire in the comment. Comment fire, fire, fire. If you want some fire, if you want to experience the consuming fire. Y'all, I know y'all haven't seen me on here in a little minute, but I want y'all to come on here. If you're having a great afternoon, give me some hearts, give me some light. Let me see the fire, okay? If you want the consuming fire. What's up, y'all? What's up? What's up? I'm glad to see you all on here. I'm going to talk about something that's very pertinent.
Anything before thee.
Come on now. If you want the fire, I'm going to give y'all a little 60 more seconds. Get them on here. Come on here. Come on here. What's up? What's up? Hey, the consuming
fire.
Hey, no other can stand in this place.
The creator
of the universe. All right. Jealous for me. All right. Hello. This is your boy, Travis Lytle Jr. And today I am here because of One Life on Purpose. Now, this is with Millennials That Pray. You know, Millennials That Pray was something that I founded last year, May 2018. And I know that One Life on Purpose is so significant right now because I know we all have one life. And we should really maximize that one life to its full potential. So One Life on Purpose really serves as the master solution to help all individuals really pretty much be able to renew their life by activating their anointing, building their ideal body, cultivating their creativity, directing their passion into profit, and experiencing the world all while traveling. So I am super excited about today's episode of Millennials That Pray. This month, it's month of September, and we're going to be starting this month talking really with part one. Today, we're going to be talking about redefined purpose. You know, One Life on Purpose is very significant, but I think we need to redefine what purpose even looks like, okay? If that's fair. You know, so this Millennials That Pray movement under One Life on Purpose started last year, May 2018. And I want to really just dive right in and talk about today. You know, service to many leads to greatness. I know you probably have heard that, you know, if you have, I know you can witness yourself that when you have served someone else, you know, it maybe brought some happiness to you, right? But I know that there's some people, and that's why I'm going to do an attitude adjustment and help you all really change your attitude, the way you look at service today. Because some people have really looked at service the wrong way. You know, I want to call out that leadership out of you. I want to call out that service to many out of you. You know, because today is very prevalent. When we look at redefined purpose, you have to know what service looks like. We are all leaders, but sometimes we haven't activated, right? Hence, the first part of One Life on Purpose is activating your anointing. Have you activated the service, the mindset of serving others? You know, can you think of one person who has served you more than you can ever imagine, has served you so much? You know, some examples of some people say like, oh, my mother. You know, my mom has served me a lot. My dad has served me a lot. So do you look at your mother less than? Because sometimes people have the mindset and the attitude that if I serve someone, they're going to view me less than. But I have some good news. You don't have to look at it that way, because serving someone adds value to other people. Right? You don't have to worry about when someone serves you or when someone you serve that they're going to look less than you. So when your mother serves you, if you think she has served you a great deal, your life, if she has served you, do you look at her lesser then? Do you look at her at a lower standard? No. You probably love your mother, right? You love your garden. The person has been there, very influential in your life, and has taken care of you, right? As you were growing up. So just think about that. And so Christ-like servant leaders, they're very, I think there's 6 or 7 things that you can kind of put them in categories of. First of all, servant leaders, they are motivated by love. Okay? So when you look at John 13, because I want to go right to the authoritative source, I want to go right to something that I believe is really very... it has power. It has, and that's the Bible. Because when you look at something that's already as factual and as truth, you don't have to question it, right? And so a lot of days, we don't know what we're hearing from and what we can believe, but I want to let you know that the Holy Bible is something of fact. Now, Jesus 13, it talks about how it's a Passover feast, and there was something that this Passover feast was where they were trying to figure out, a part of the tradition was washing the feet as people came in the door, or, washing them, getting them clean, ready for the Passover feast, right? Well, no one had prepared this as something of tradition. Like this one time, they didn't think about who was going to wash everyone's feet. So they were thinking about who was the greatest, who was the person at the higher standard, the high place on a higher pedestal that can wash everyone's feet. Now in John 13, 1 through 2, we're going to go through this John 1, chapter 13 chapter while I'm giving you these 6 or 7 things that Christ-like servant leaders do, because I want you to get this. I want you to be able to shift your mindset to thinking about what can I do to serve other people? How can I serve other people? First of all, you got to be motivated by love. Jesus' love was undeserved. It was unending. It was unconditional. It was unselfish. Can you think about that? Jesus' love really is not really just about the gratitude, but he shows and expresses grace, right? Not only that, but Jesus even washed the feet of Judas, who wanted him gone. Judas wanted him gone. He wanted to, kill him. He had betrayed him all his life. He wanted him killed the next day, but guess what? Jesus was motivated by love, and he still washed his feet. So in John 13, 1 through 2, it says, "Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end." Jesus loved. He was motivated by love. During supper, when the devil had already put it into the heart of Judas, Simon's son, to betray him, he still washed Judas' feet, even when Judas wanted to betray him. Now think about this. The second thing is comfortable and secure in yourself. You got to be comfortable and secure in yourself. Jesus knew who he was. He didn't have to question. He didn't have to wonder, why would I, someone of my caliber, get on my knees to wash somebody else's feet? He washed the disciples' feet regardless, because he knew he didn't have to prove anything to anyone. So I'm going to speak to the people that feel like they have to prove something to someone. You don't have to prove anything to anyone. He had nothing to lose, right? Jesus was secure in himself. He knew that he put the insecure. There's the insecurity is with the titles. People that put themselves on these higher pedestals, they feel like they got these positions and they're not secure in themselves and who they are as a person. So you got to realize that the insecurity are into the titles, but the secure are into the towels when they're washing the disciples' feet. I'm going somewhere. Follow me. So in John 13:3 says, Jesus, knowing that the Father had given all things into his hands and that he had come from God and was going back to God. Now, this is what you have to understand. Jesus knew he didn't have to prove himself to anyone, so he was secure in himself. So you got to be comfortable and secure in yourself. You got to be comfortable in your own skin. That's the only way you can be a servant leader. That's number 2. Number 3, you got to take the initiative. Why are you waiting for someone else to do something first before you take care of doing it yourself? Why wait for someone else? No, you take the action yourself. Sir, ma'am, do it first, right? You know, Jesus was a servant leader that knew the feet washing had to get done. They didn't already plan that, but then he knew that it was a part of the tradition. He didn't look around and see who was higher than him. He was probably the highest person that everyone was looking up to, but he still got on his feet, on his knees. He still got off his feet, got on his knees and said, we will get this done. I will do it. Who are you willing to pioneer and do something out of humility for? What are you willing to sacrifice? So many times we are not quick to give up something to go up. You got to be, what are you willing to give up to go up? That's good. What are you willing to give up to go up? You got to take the initiative. Why are you waiting for someone else to do something first? You know, in John 13, verse 4 through 5, it says, Jesus was going back to God, rose from supper. He had laid aside his outer garments and taken a towel, tied it around his waist. Then he poured water into a basin and began to wash the disciples' feet and to wipe them with the towel that was wrapped around him. Jesus did this. He took the initiative. Instead of looking around, wondering who was going to get it done, he did it himself. Number 4, you got to be willing to receive service from other people. You know, so many times Peter had a hard time really letting Jesus serve him. Why? Because Peter didn't think someone that was already someone he was looking up to that was higher than him, at a higher standard than him, should be serving him. But Peter possessed, and what he had was a worldly mindset. He was still caught up in the worldview. He was still caught up in what other people would think. I can't receive service from other people. They're going to think less of me. But other leaders can definitely serve you too. Sometimes and oftentimes today, we should let other people serve us. So just relax and just receive the service from them. You know, I'm speaking to other leaders out there. Don't get so high and mighty that you are blocking the blessing from someone. You were blocking someone else from receiving what they are trying to receive by serving you. Do not let them not be able to serve you. Let them receive service from other people. Jesus almost had to beg Simon Peter to sit down and let him to, serve him. For the master, for Jesus to wash his feet. You know, in John 13, verse 6 through 7, it says, he came to Simon Peter, who said to him, Lord, do you wash my feet? Jesus answered him, what I am doing you do not understand now, but afterward you will understand. Do not let someone serve you. Number 4 is receive service from others. Now let's move on to number 5. Teach by living, be a living example. Teach by example. You know, there's no position that should prevent you from washing someone else's feet. You know, lending a helping hand. You know, Jesus made it very, very, very clear that if the master washed their feet, then they ought to do the same for someone else. You know, so Jesus' example, he wanted it to be reproduced. He wanted it to be something where, Jesus would do one thing and other people will follow him and it will be a reproduction, right? His example will be reproduced, right? So he wasn't just thinking about today. He was thinking about what will be done day in and day out if he wasn't even around. You know, his actions spoke louder than his words. What are your actions saying? What are your actions saying? Because a lot of times our actions are not meeting up with what we're talking about. We may be talking one thing, but we may be walking something different. So you got to make sure your actions, you got to be a living example as what a servant leader looks like. In John 13, verse 12, right? We're sticking to truth and fact. It says in John 13, verse 12, when he had washed their feet and put out his outer garments and resumed his place, he said to them, do you understand what I have done to you? And then let's skip down to verse 15, John 13, verse 15. For I have given you an example that you also should do just as I have done to you. Let's look at our own lives and be a servant leader that other people can follow. Be the example. That's number 5. Teach by example. And then number 6. I got 2 more for you. Number 6. Live a blessed life. being high on life. Live a blessed life, being so high on life that you living your best life, right? That the greatest blessing follows those who step out on faith. They're not worried about who's going to be there, who's going to be watching. They're doing something by stepping out on faith. They're not afraid to take a risk. They're doing opposite of what the world is doing. You know, so many people are so consumed by what the world is doing that they can't even concentrate on being a servant leader because they're trying to follow somebody else that they don't even know what they're doing. You know, God looks for those that serve people when there's no thought of getting something in return. Stop looking at, I'm going to help this person so that I can get something from them. No, you serve regardless. You serve unconditionally. You love unconditionally. The return of what you're going to receive after giving and helping someone unselfishly, the return is going to be a blessing from God. So when leaders serve, value is added. You know, we got to make sure we're not caught up in how we going to serve without just serving. Just do it. You know, when you are adding value to someone else, it's making the other person feel special. It's making the other person feel worthwhile. Like, man, like I can do it too. That kind of feeling. So, you know, I want to continue to build an unashamed, unapologetic, and unstoppable community of millennials and people, individuals of all races, ages, genders, that I'm building with One Life on Purpose. Because I know that my motivation as the millennial motivator, my motivation, the beacon of light for someone, I'm focused on trying to add value to everyone I come in contact with. And that's what you should do too. I want you to pull out that servant leadership that's within you. You know, add and deposit instead of taking away from someone. You know, so many times we're looking at, man, you know, what am I going to receive from this? No, you seek to replenish them. Continue to resource them. No, be careful who you're pouring into because they could have a cup that has holes in it. And so when you're pouring into them and replenishing them, they ain't really receiving anything because they got holes in their cup. That's good. But it's okay. It's okay to pour into someone. You know, live the higher life that God has called you to do, to serve. You know, that God has called you to do. And I want you to know by serving, you know, it says in John 13, verse 16 through 17, truly, truly, I say to you, a servant is no greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him. If you know these things, blessed are you if you do them. Serve someone else. You know, and the last one, that was number 6, you know, being sure that you're living a blessed life so high on life. You know, but number 7, the last one is let nothing get in the way of your relationship with God. Let nothing get in the way of your relationship with God. You know, Peter moved from one extreme to another. He was so concerned, like if Jesus was willing to, you know, if Jesus was willing to wash him, he wanted him to wash his whole entire body. He wanted to receive everything he could from Jesus. If Jesus was going to give him anything, he said, I wanted to receive all of it. He wanted to make sure nothing got in the way of his relationship with God. And you got to do the same thing. And then the last Bible verse that goes along with this is in John 13, same chapter, John 13, verse 8 through 9. It says, Peter said to him, you shall never wash my feet. Jesus answered him, if I do not wash you, you have no share with me. Simon Peter said to him, Lord, not my feet only, but also my hands and my head. He wanted him to wash all of him. If you were going to do anything, Jesus, do it all. I want to receive it all. I want nothing to get in the way of my relationship with you. So I want to leave you all with this. Put others ahead of your agenda. Develop the confidence and security to take risks. So many times we're afraid to take risks. That's why we don't serve, right? You're afraid of taking risks. Look for a need and take initiative. Don't be waiting for someone else to do something first. And perform the small acts of kindness because the small acts indeed could be so meaningful that you don't know how it could help and bless someone else. And learn to walk slowly through the crowd. Walking slowly through the crowd. And so I want to end that right there, you all. You know, It's so paramount. It's paramount. It's so important that, you know, sometimes you may not want to say something verbally, but God calls us all to be a vessel. And you can be a vessel by wearing a t-shirt to freely express yourself. Walk around. Stay encouraged. So get a t-shirt from my t-shirt line, Kind Expressions. It's under the brand, One Life on Purpose. I want you to spread the word. You know, because most importantly, you all, remember guys, we all have one life and we should maximize it to its full potential intentionally. This is how we're going to all live our one life on purpose. We got to be intentional about our business, intentional about our success, and intentional about our spiritual growth. So don't forget to follow One Life on Purpose. Go to onelifeonpurpose.com, the number one, LIFE, onpurpose.com, right? And it's been a pleasure, you all. You know, I'm going to go ahead and tag, you know, you can get a t-shirt. Yes, I pray. P.R.A.Y, because Millennials that pray. That's the movement. Millennials that pray. Peace, restoration, affirmation, and yearning for more. You know, so get you a t-shirt. It's $9.99, $10. Man, you got $10 to spare. Because I want you to be able to freely express yourself and proclaim your values, proclaim your beliefs. Have something across your chest that really connects with who you are as a person. So definitely go to onelifeonpurpose.com, you all, and let someone else know. Let someone else know about why they should be a part of this Millennials That Pray movement that's under One Life on Purpose. So it's a pleasure being able to be, you know, coming to you all live today on Facebook. You know, my name is Travis Lytle Jr., the real millennial motivator. I am the millennial motivator. So feel free to check out my own Instagram highlights, my Facebook page, and subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Go to onelifeonpurpose.com. You can get all the details to be able to follow me, follow the movement, One Life on Purpose. I love to hear all the feedback as well. I see you all next Wednesday for another episode of Millennials That Pray. I love you all. God bless. This concludes another episode of Millennials That Pray, brought to you by One Life on Purpose. Have a great day.